All right, welcome back to the 8th annual Robinson Invitational as the Ray-Pec Panthers will do battle with the Valley View Blazers in a rematch from last year's Robinson Invitational Showcase. Valley View, the visiting team, will bat first. And Razorback commit Johnny Carver on the mound. First pitch, strike one. A little bit outside for ball one, so 1-1. You guys make sure you check out our scorebug there as we've got the velocities of each pitch.
My hand might catch, if I was just telling Coach Delaney, my hand might catch fire with Carver on the mound.
Good chance. That one fouled out of play. There's an insurance claim. Can't get the lineup. Just Valley Views is all I need. Thank you. And now the 1-2 from Carver. And that one didn't break back across the plate.
I don't know what it's misreading. Go back, reset it. Picked up 103.
Woo. I better send that into a Major League scout. Yeah, right. And Carver off the end of the bat. And see if it'll stay in play. It will not.
See if it's just an angle?
Yep.
101.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know that touched.
Oh, the lock is on. You can turn the auto on.
Thank you.
It's on now. I just fixed it.
Gartman leading things off here for the Blazers. Arkansas State commit. And that one hit down the line and fair ball. Extra bases for Gartman as he rounds first. Well, bounces off the wall and they'll get it in. Shortstop Diesel Purnell.
Tell you what, Gartman's he's had a great career just as an overall athlete for the Blazers. Of course, we know what he's done in baseball, as you said, an Arkansas State signee, but he was an all-state receiver as a junior and then had an incredible year for the Blazers this past year at quarterback.
Yeah, it's funny. Some may know I do a little bit of Uber driving from time to time, and I actually gave Drew's grandparents a ride from the airport to Jonesboro a bit back, and so super family, just a great group of folks, and enjoyed getting to meet them, and so good to see Gartman out here continuing to be successful on the diamond. So Keaton Mathis. So 1-0 from Carver. And that ball up and away.
Yeah, I mean, he's consistently in the mid-90s so far.
And this one lifted right side. That'll get out of play.
No way. That ain't right.
I
mean, he's a hog to me.
I know, but I've seen him a lot. That ain't right.
We don't believe the gun. It is unofficial.
Sorry.
It is still a work in progress.
Swing and a miss. 79?
No, that's
it's not coming up over
94.
here.
Yeah, 94 is hotter. Probably not.
Let him touch this thing.
And now the 2-2 pitch. Just a bit outside, full count.
So that was 88.
Not long ago, Kyle, this would have been a matchup of Arkansas commits. Keaton Mathis once committed to Arkansas, has since decommitted. So Carver and Mathis going at it here. A 3-2 count for Carver. And that one misses high and away. And a walk issued to Mathis, and now runners at first and second here for the Blazers.
Courtesy runner for the catcher, number 14, Noah Scudero.
So courtesy runner now into the game. Scudero in.
Blazers, number 21, left fielder, Owen Roach.
And now fielder Owen Roach will step in. And we talk about the amount of talent coming out of Valley View year in and year out. This is a team full of D1 prospects, and that first one misses inside, ball one.
Y'all didn't tell me I had Moo on the screen instead of Moo from MO from Missouri.
Oh,
I didn't even see it. And this ball chopped up the middle. And he'll get the force at second. Runner going to go home, and that's an aggressive base running play by Valley View, and they'll strike first as Gartman slides into home head first, and it's 1-0 Valley View. And an impressive, aggressive decision on the base pass there by the Valley View Blazers.
Next up for the Blazers, the pitcher.
Bergman off to a great start, got the double, and scored the game's first run.
Runner goes. And they'll give him the stolen base. No attempt.
Yeah, that's something you'll want to watch too. Is on base.
That one pushed off the net. Another pitch from Carver. Levi Martin awaits. Just missed inside for Carver. So 1 ball, 2 strike count now on Martin. Martin will be the starting pitcher for the Blazers.
Nick's not letting his team go to the field right now.
And that one misses outside. Carver scuffling a little bit here early.
Something's going on. I just texted Acock. He said Juju BS.
The Gartman
Nick's got his hand.
hit to start things. And Carver, ooh, not sure how that didn't hit Martin.
96, that wouldn't have felt great.
No. You know, once upon a time, you think about the velocities we're seeing right now, and assuming that gun is even, within a few miles per hour of being correct, it was far-fetched to see lefties touching 90, and now it's commonplace. And he hits it against the shift. The ball might have been a little slick coming out of the left fielder's hands. As Owen Roach scores the second run of the inning for the Blazers. Valley View picking up where they left off yesterday.
Next up,
I think probably more real. We're probably looking at high 80s, low 90s, but that's not anything to shake a stick at by any means.
No. Again, to see a lefty that's able to push that kind of velocity. There's a good pitch out of Carver.
All right, let's see what it says.
Carver, just a junior as well, so a whole nother season after this. As Carver checks on the runner at first.
I think he committed to the Razorbacks as a 9th grader, either an 8th or 9th grader.
Hey, now
Carver,
we're about to talk again.
that's a good pitch on the inside corner, 0-2.
We talked about it with Coach, but we know how much Dave Van Horn loves that Kansas City area.
Yeah, they've had a few good ones come out of there.
Yeah, one or two. Of course, Bobby Wernis now on his staff, coaches third base for him. And
Goodhart got ejected. Juju never saw the play of the
Next up for Valley View, number 44.
Big hit Bob out of the Kansas City area as well, right?
yes, yeah, because as we heard on every broadcast, his dad was once the GM of the Kansas City
right.
Royals. had to think about that for Robert Moore. I had to go back in time a couple of years.
I only remember Robert Moore basically because I tried to catch a line drive of his in foul territory and about broke my hand.
I'll never forget when was it South Carolina that was chanting Oopa Loopa,
Yes.
and then he just smoked one out.
Uh-oh, that ball tailing towards the wall, and that's gone. That's a home run. Did it not get above it? And it'll be a ground rule double. Didn't miss by much. It got right at the top of that yellow mark and came back into play. So the big wall does its job. It keeps the ball in the ballpark. It's funny, I was just out there moving cameras and with my wife, and we were hunting for baseballs, for lollipop balls for the birthday boy over here. And she pointed out something up there in the woods, and I said, unless that's Slade Caldwell's, no one's hit anything over here this season that I've seen over this wall. Oh, my, that ball may be gone. Way back, crushed, left center field, at the wall, and caught. As the field will hold it, gave that one a ride.
Well, Valley View they are definitely jumping on these, man. Carver was able to get out of that inning, but
That does it for the Valley.
they came to hit.
Now the 7-hole hitter, Hudson Rogers, gave that one a ride.
Ray-Pec.
Now Ray-Pec comes to bat, and, I tell you, Kyle, I was talking, we were talking with Coach Lurch there in the game before as he came on with us during the broadcast, and, as well as talking to Coach Delaney. And one of the conversations, for Coach Lurch was, last year when they came here, they were off schedule with their pitching. And so they weren't able to throw their aces in that game against Valley View last year. And in a game where it was a really close game, a great play late, and an error by Ray-Pec really sealed the deal, gave Valley View the win. But Coach Lurch really wanted this game again, so much so that he specifically requested, that they put this one on the schedule when it was time for Carver to start so that he could bring his ace and just, match up against this Valley View team. Now, obviously, totally different Valley View team than what we saw last year. First-round draft picks in the majors right now are, in Slade Caldwell. And so, but still, as a competitor, you want to come in and really get things going. Well, Valley View has answered that call.
Yeah.
2 runs in the first inning, and we'll see how Ray-Pec answers in the bottom half.
Well, and you travel to play the best competition. That's the whole reason why you're here. If you're going to make the trip, then you want to get those best teams and see those best looks. And as you said, this might not be the Valley View team as last year that was a nationally ranked team and all those different things. But still, if you go down the lineup, you look at, college prospect once again, as the Blazers always tend to have. So, probably more so of a redemption type game, I would say, just to kind of get out of here and have bragging rights for a year. But there's going to be, as we've talked about with all the talent here, there's going to be just about every team is going to leave here and go back to their respective places. And you're definitely going to have some things that they can work with for the back half of their seasons.
So it'll be Meisenhammer, Diesel Purnell, and Clint Olson, the catcher, to hit here in the bottom half of the first for the Panthers. And I'm personally excited to see Diesel Purnell for a couple of reasons, but one, super kid, but my now 8-year-old today, happy birthday to Diesel, is named Diesel, and you don't see too many Diesels running around other than the truck variety. And so, usually the only place he gets to see his name anywhere else is on a gas station sign.
Right.
So, when we came out here during warm-ups last year, Purnell was out there taking some infield, and I think one of the coaches yelled out, "Hey, Diesel!" And Diesel turned around, "What?" Yeah. He was so excited to meet somebody. The other reason, outside of the personal bias, is I've been told that Purnell put on about 25 pounds since last season. You can see it in the upper body as he's on deck right now. He had a walk-off last night that Coach Lurch said was all arms. And so to beat Bentonville West, I'm excited to see Purnell tonight. Eisenheimer takes the first one from Martin for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, and Martin was the one that recorded so Valley View turned 2 yesterday against Greenwood. I think he was actually at first base. And, of course, went 2 for 3 in that game as well. Mm-hmm. So he recorded the final out and had a big day at the plate.
Martin, one of the few guys on this notes list that Coach Delaney gave us that doesn't have an actual school tied to him yet. Obviously getting looks. That one's up 2-0. He'll sit at 85 to 87 miles per hour on his fastball. We'll see how close the gun is to those numbers.
82, so maybe a little bit more.
You wonder how much this wind will impact the command. This one back up the middle by Meisenheimer. Fielded over the middle, and an easy put out for first out of the inning for Valley View.
Next up for the Panthers. Shortstop, number 10, Diesel Purnell.
So now Purnell to bat. Hey, Diesel. Hey, tap him.
He is not yelling at Diesel Purnell, by the way. He's trying to get the attention of his son.
Yeah.
We're not distracting players.
No. Hurry up. That's Diesel Purnell batting. So Purnell watches the first one, 1-0. He plays shortstop. No, Valley View's up 2-0 right now. Scored 2 in the first. And Purnell, hefty swing. Mm-hmm. 1-1 to Purnell. And another hefty swing out of Purnell. Maybe fooled on that one as it looked like Martin might have pulled the string on him.
Yeah, I think he's trying to hit that to I-10, or
Yeah.
to I-10, to Highway 10. We're not in Texas or on the south border there.
I think that would be more what, Congo Ferndale that way?
Yeah, that's right. I'm clearly directionally challenged. I blame it on that private school education.
I mean, we've seen plenty of foul balls go to Highway 10 today over the last day and a half. It's not far behind us. So 2-2 counts at Purnell. That one, some carpet burn.
In my defense, I am used to being on the football field, which,
Yeah.
of course, from the press box is looking right out there.
Look, we all expect mistakes on these broadcasts. So I will only call out Trip Keeter for him. Full count, 3-2. Purnell spoils it. See another one here from Martin.
I'll tell you, Trip, if he hasn't bought a lotto ticket at this point, he goes, he's the voice of Parkview. They win a football state championship, then continues to be the voice of the Mills Comets. The boys make it to, or actually win the state final, and then the girls made it to the semis.
Chopper took a weird bounce, but beat him to the base. As Hudson Rogers gets the out on Purnell, 2 away.
Next up for the Panthers, the catcher, number 21, Clint Olson.
Martin's sitting around the mid-80s right now.
That's what the scouting report says, 85 to 87.
Seen
So.
between 84 and 87, so about spot on.
And this one, that'll find a hole. There's a base hit for Olson, catcher Clint Olson. And if things go as they normally do, we'll see a courtesy runner, and we will. Yeah, he did. See, they get out all the time, though. They get out all the time. It's baseball. So the courtesy runner will be Brooks Talley. Left, the other way, this way. Opposite of you. So Scrivener now batting, and he got fisted on that one. It'll be a tough play for Martin, and got him. And I tell you what, Kyle, I don't know about you, but I would have rather seen him run through the base. I think he would have gotten there if he runs through the base instead of taking the headfirst dive, and that's a point of contention amongst the baseball purists. Should you dive into first or run through it? And I think I'd have rather seen Scrivener run through the bag there and take his chances that way.
No question. You can't question the effort there, but I think definitely he probably wants that one back.
Yeah, I'm going to ask for one.
Coach Lurch was actually, it looks like he's asking him, why didn't you run through it?
Bottom of the first. No runs on, 1 hit for the Panthers. Valley View leads.
He's mine. Yeah, I again, really surprised that we didn't see him try to run through that one. And I got to imagine that'll be a coaching point. I'd love to get Coach Delaney's thoughts on that, on what his preference is. I got to believe, though, that you would
First base, I think you always probably do run through it.
Yeah.
And then I think that's kind of what I can't say exactly what it was, but that's what I feel like Coach Lurch was telling him, like, as he's kind of throwing his hands up at him, like, why didn't you do that? And he'll learn the next time.
Yeah, and I think that was one of those that he just made it way closer than it had to be by diving. So either way, Ray-Pec was able to scratch out one hit by Olsen, but that was it. And so Valley View back to bat here in the top half of the second, leading 2-0. And this is a Blazer team that just impressive resume out of this squad. 5A state champions as they beat the Maumelle Hornets last year, and on their way to trying to defend that again this year as they've looked very good once again in 5A play. If you follow high school baseball in the state of Arkansas, a lot of really good teams at the 5A level right now.
Yeah, it's pretty wide open, I would say. Of course, Valley View's the favorite until somebody says otherwise, but you look at that 5A West and you think of Russellville, you think of Russellville, you think of who was one of the Russellville actually lost to Benton yesterday. That's a contender out of the Central. So last year it was like who's going to take second to Valley View. This year it is a little bit more wide open, it seems.
Yeah, Maumelle in the conversation as well.
Yeah, certainly can't forget the Hornets.
1-0, that one hit into the hole between first and second. And a leadoff single for the Blazers, and the Blazers seem to be ready for anything Carver wants to throw at them right now.
Stay dry,
Oh,
brother.
that's who Coach was talking about earlier. Is Charlie Scrivener
Next up for the Blazers.
explains that he was diving because he has had 4 knee surgeries. That's who Coach Lurch was talking about in an interview earlier with the 3 ACL surgeries. So
that would explain it.
That would explain it. I can imagine the thought of hitting that bag at full speed after 3 ACL injuries cannot be a very healthy thought in your brain.
And keep in mind, we were not hating on that. We were just trying to kind of figure out maybe an explanation, and that definitely explains it.
Yeah, went inside. So 1-0. Speaking of the Hogs, they set for a 3-game set against Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt, I don't think, is lost at home. Thought I saw that when I was reading.
I think you're
earlier.
Right. Which, the Hogs hadn't either until this week.
Right.
Keaton Rogers, the hitter here for the Blazers. And try to get him to chase. Checked his swing. 2-0. And so the 2-0 from Carver. That one inside, ball 3. We'll see. Obviously, it's not raining hard, but there's some occasional sprinkles right now. So we'll see how that impacts the grip on the ball. And that one right down the middle. And we've been talking about the umpires a little bit, Kyle, and we've seen a lot of 3-0 pitches that have been very borderline that our umpires have given on these takes. That one was far from borderline. That might have been the best pitch Carver's thrown right down the middle, but the runner was going with ball 4 as Rogers works the walk, and now 2 on for Valley View as they go back to the top of the order in Gartman.
Next up for the Blazers.
He's gotten behind on some of these counts, but, man, they're swinging so quick. And that's, as you said, they really came to hit.
You can tell they're seeing the ball really well right now, and they're not swinging at anything out of the zone. I don't think we've seen them swing at anything bad. Now Gartman going to lay down a bunt. Good bunt. Fielded by Carver. He has to throw from his back foot, but there was nobody there. Second baseman was late getting over to the bag to cover as the first baseman crashed. And a mistake by Ray-Pec, although I don't think even if he was there that Carver could have thrown Gartman out there.
Next up for the Blazers.
Gartman now 2 for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Keaton Mathis.
Now Mathis bats. That one fouled right back here at us.
The wind might end up getting picked up on this radar if it blows in too hard on us.
They said earlier that the wind's going to pick up throughout the evening and stay.
I bet some
strong.
of that wind mid last week could definitely register on this.
No doubt. That was pretty nuts. Caused all kinds of problems around the state.
Yeah, I just turned 35, and I would say that's the most interesting weather day. We've all seen storms and like tornadoes, things like that, but I don't recall a day where I've seen wind quite to that extent.
Well, and it was about a 36-hour stretch of it too. There's a good pitch out of Carver right down the middle. I think that was the craziest part. At some point, you thought, man, do we live in the Great Plains now? Are we up in Iowa or Nebraska? And it's all flat. You don't expect winds like that with the hills and all the trees that we have. But it's picking up again, as you can hear through our headsets. Wind blowing in a little bit from right, really left to right across the field. That went up the middle. Could be two. Played at second and scooped it first for the double play. They'll score a run as Tatum scores to make it 3-0 Valley View. But the double play turned
Next up for Valley View.
there by the Panthers. So 2 away now here in the second as Gartman advances to third. And this one hit right back up the middle. Gartman going to score for the second time here today. Oh, that's not Gartman, sorry. That is, Gartman was retired on the double play. It was Rogers scoring on that one. And so 4-0 Blazers.
Now batting for the Blazers, number 33. Pitching, Levi Martin.
Now Martin, the pitcher, is to help his own cause here with 2 outs. Up and in, ball 1. Check of the runner, back easily. Talking about the Hornets, I think I saw on my Game Changer updates, they beat Harmony Grove today 13-0. And once again, Nick Watson, I'm calling you out as to why you're not here at this event. I bet Coach Delaney would even let you host part of this.
Oh, I bet so. Got some really good PC. Talking about 5A, think about Sylvan Hills. Yeah. Well, you mentioned when we talked about Maumelle and obviously Robinson. I mean, it's we got some good ones just in that district alone.
And I haven't gotten out. I know, Mills used to be a pretty premier baseball program.
Oh yeah,
and
they were. Yeah, back in the Kevin Bohannon
days.
Back when the dinosaurs were roaming the earth.
Who's that guy?
Right?
Mr. Stand-Up Cabo.
That team was, if I'm not mistaken, nationally ranked in 1999.
I've been hearing some pretty good whispers, though, about that team or about Mills right now. I don't know, obviously not going to be a competitor, I don't think, in 4A, but I think starting to turn a little bit of a corner there for the Comets. And that would be right on par with what's going on at Mills right now.
Yeah.
Of course, football team in the semis.
On the basketball. What Zip has done with that, that's
goodness.
One of the better turnarounds regardless of classification. I mean, you go from 0 wins to 0 wins in 21, I guess it was, to state semifinalists.
Starting to see the folks break out the blankets in the stands now as a little windy and cool. Starting to feel reminiscent of the final night last year, Will. That one, he got inside that ball. If that ball gets out of here, that is it got out of here, but foul. Wow.
That's another lollipop ball.
That's some grown man strength, though. He turned inside that ball and got it up into the jet stream through this wind. I mean, that was into the wind. And that's the pitcher, Levi Martin.
Yeah, he's having a big weekend.
Man. Runner goes, and Martin on the hit and run, perfectly executed. Took the third baseman to the bag. That'll score the 5th run And you talk about, I was talking with Coach Delaney earlier about how the coaching has been so impressive in this event. Point A right there. Perfect time for the hit and run and perfectly executed by the Blazers.
Yeah, that's right. It said it's right there in the gap between the shortstop and third base. Third baseman just wasn't even able to recover from that.
And it's 5-0 already on Johnny Carver and Ray-Pec. 2 away. Owen Roach scored in the 5th run there for the Blazers. Martin helping his own cause over at first. A little surprised, unless they're not going to run Martin out there for the second, which I can't believe they wouldn't. But I'm a little surprised no courtesy runner for Levi Martin. Usually see the pitcher get a courtesy runner. If he steals here, I guarantee he's not going to pitch. He does run. Now I got to back up my guarantee. Now I'd be even more shocked, Kyle, if Levi Martin goes back to the bump in the second or in the bottom of this inning. You just don't normally see your pitcher who's about to come out with 2 outs, still running the bases and stealing bases. And we're going to find out. Strike 3. Got to complete it with the throw down to first. Oh, no. Goes through the glove of the first baseman all the way into the corner in right field. And Martin hustling. They'll give him the stop sign at third. Wow.
Man.
Ray-Pec.
Next up for the Blazers, number 24, second baseman Noah Ragsdale.
As that wind continues to whip from left to right, from left field to right field. Two away, and swing and a miss. As Noah Ragsdale was trying to put one through the jet stream there. For as much as Ray-Pec came into this game with maybe thoughts of revenge, Valley View has come into this game with thoughts of knockout.
Yeah, they've got that thought, and then, of course, Ray-Pec helping them out there as well. And that last one, of course, could have gotten out of the inning, and just a blunder.
We've seen that a few times. We've seen several teams have to get 4 outs in an inning after a strikeout. Uh-oh. That ball high, left field, to the wall, to the jet stream, and gone.
That left field wall has had a magnet on it, Steve. I swear, really, it's especially since last night when Conway hit that walk-off.
Noah Ragsdale takes the round trip as he put that one in and through the jet stream for the 3-run bomb. It is 8-0 Valley View, and shell shock right now on Coach Lurch's Ray-Pec Panthers. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Yeah, I don't think anybody on either side expected this to happen.
My goodness gracious. I mean, those are moon shots, too. Even the ones that have stayed in the yard have not missed by much. My goodness gracious. And now Hudson Rogers, he just missed one his last at bat. Went up and in, 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
One of the few times he's been ahead in the count. It's like I was saying, it's just he's been behind in some of them, but then again, Valley View's getting so many quick hits.
Mm-hmm. Again, the pitch recognition. I heard somebody here behind us talking about tipping pitches, and you wonder because they've not chased anything. And again, it's great plate discipline by Valley View, but they haven't chased anything. They've swung at good pitches, and they've done a lot with them. This one to the third baseman, scooped, thrown across the diamond, and that was made to retire the side finally. But a 6 spot put on the board for Valley View. And again, how big was the strikeout that they could not complete the throw down to first? Led to the additional 3 runs there after the 3-run bomb. So big start for the Valley View Blazers. You're watching the 8th annual Robinson Invitational on the Robinson Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports, and we'll be back here in just a moment with more baseball. And that ball shot at the second baseman and snagged off the turf for out number 1. And just like that, 1 pitch, 1 out.
Next up, first baseman.
Keep getting hung up on that bag.
Posey.
First one from Martin outside. So Martin did go back out on the mound. Maybe a little easier to do after a 3-run bomb where you get to jog the rest of the way.
He's already at third.
I know, he's just to jog the final 90 feet. And then get to probably catch your breath a little easier once you get in the dugout after that too. I wouldn't know. I didn't hit too many 3-run bombs in my day. And didn't play on any teams like Valley View where we had every guy in the lineup could hit a 3-run bomb.
Yeah.
That one low. Martin scuffling a little bit here. His time is called. It's Colt Posey. Going to try to get something started for this Ray-Pec team. Can't imagine Ray-Pec's found themselves in too many 8-0 holes. But again, just goes to show talent level here. There's a strike, 3-1, maybe one of those borderline strike calls. And ball 4.
Next up for the Panthers, the pitcher, number 71, Johnny Carver.
And now Carver. We can just put it over top of us and we can all huddle underneath the tarp and watch it on the screen. Carver with a runner at first. Pitch, Martin paints the outside corner. Now the 0-1. Posey not running. Carver late on that one, 0-2. Now the 0-2. Carver punches that one through the hole on the right side. And so Carver will Posey up 90 feet to second. And now runners at first and second with one away here for Ray-Pec. We'll see the courtesy runner, Carver. Rowan Elliott will enter.
Third baseman, number 24, Caden Jenkins.
And now third baseman Caden Jenkins steps in. Strike one call in the outside corner. Now the 0-1. One fisted back over top of us.
Insurance claim.
Oh, no, we had a great play. No insurance claim needed. Hey! That's a 2 lollipopper right there.
Yes. It is that is definitely a 2 lollipopper. You were right.
Turn that in for a lollipop.
I think they'd rather keep the ball.
As an adult, I'd like to trade that in for a $100 bill, please. 1-2. Martin taking his time here. Surprised time wasn't called. Man.
That was that was super close. It looked kind of close to the one where he painted that outside corner about 2-3 pitches ago.
Martin, 2-2 count. One away. There's the first and second for Ray-Pec. And that one spoiled, fouled out. That is going to be an insurance claim. See, what we can do next year is we can just have a camera trained on foul territory. Every time one goes back there, it is sponsored by a local insurance agent. We have ideas. We just need you.
That's right.
Just ask American Pie Pizza about the Pizookie. Going up and in, full count.
I sure had a great time yelling Pizookie against Hot Springs. You know, because normally on my Buzz broadcast, I got to be super neutral. So it was nice to be a homer for once.
He's in the dugout waiting to bat. 3-2 pitch. And Jenkins skies this one out of place, spoils that one. Good at bat here for Jenkins. At least, the very least, he's getting Martin's pitch count up a little bit. And ball 4. So Jenkins works the walk. And that'll bring the 9-hole hitter, the 34, Eli Mast. Mast can reach. We'll flip the order back to Meisenheimer. And we're going to get a conversation between the battery mates with the bases loaded. Probably going to get their fake signs in order here.
Told here they've got a new audience. There is a reward for any foul balls that might be returned to us. Lollipops for foul balls. Open to any and all children of all ages. Lollipops for foul balls.
Including 40-year-olds.
I was about to say, he said children of all ages.
You're included, Steve.
Okay, just making sure. Long conversation here. Now our umpires are going to go out and try to break things up. I'm surprised they let them have this conversation this long. They will break it up. Again, thanks for joining us here on the Robinson Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports for the 8th Annual Robinson Invitational. I'm Steve Henson, joined by Kyle Sutherland, Will Watkins on production, Kristen Henson up on our camera on the third base dugout.
Trying not to get blown away.
Yeah. And that ball ripped. That's going to get down the left field line. This is going to score at least 2. Rounding third, headed to score. And so 2 runs in. As Jenkins will stop at third. That's a good piece of hitting out of the 9-hole hitter Mast as he drives in 2 and cuts the Valley View lead down to 8-2.
Just chipping away and still got 2 runners in scoring position.
That's how you want to see them flip the lineup over if you're Coach Lurch right now. Your 9-hole hitter, get things going. Also takes you out of a double play or anything crazy here. And so now the leadoff hitter Meisenhammer will bat. Just a sophomore. And that ball off the pitcher. Good play by Martin to knock it down. And they're going to try to score. And a great play. We talk about coaching, great play. They drew the throw to second on Mast, which allows Jenkins to sneak into the plate for the 3rd run of the inning, and now a 5-run game.
Yeah, really heads-up play right there. Great base running and great coaching call.
We saw that in that first inning out of Valley View. And now Diesel Purnell to bat. And Gartman had that aggressive base running decision in the first. That was a similar type play. Let's see if Purnell can cut into the lead a little more. Wind has died down a bit, and did it not get it? How did he get over that? Somehow that ball does not get Purnell. For a minute, Kyle thought he had mismatched shoes on, too.
That's what I got that black on the inside. That threw me off a little bit. Thought he'd pulled the Booby Miles and got the Sharpie out.
1-0 to Purnell. And that one outside.
Thank you, sir.
Hitters count here for Purnell. Ooh. 2-1. Martin finds the inside corner with that one. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now the 2-1 from Martin. Parnell pushes it left side. I think it's going to tell foul, and it just does. Into the dirt, over the fence. I'm so in between what the weather is going to do right now. It's going to actually rain, or if we can just dispose of this tarp.
Rather have it and not need it than, of course, you got it either way, but to already have it prepared.
Yeah.
Thinking ahead.
Well, Delaney looked at me funny when I came back with it from Walmart because the sun was shining by the time I got back after the rain shower earlier. I was like, look, we're going to be prepared. Whether it's tonight or tomorrow, we're getting rain again. And I'm not doing what just happened. And Purnell, Martin pulls the string. Purnell strikes out. And that'll do it for the Ray-Pec bottom half of the second. But they do pick up 3 runs, cut into the Valley View lead. After 2, 8-3, Blazers lead it. We'll be back with more of the Robinson Invitational on the Robinson Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports right after this. All right. Sorry. Took me a minute to get back. We're trying to figure this tarp situation out. First one from Carver. Misses wide. Good stop, though. Our catcher, Olson. We'll see if Carver can settle in here a little bit.
Causing a delay. Rain goes
And inside corner, he's what?
It went. Yeah.
He's pointing foul. You got to be. What is the call?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's be a little more demonstrative with it, not just kind of casually point at the line. Nobody had any clue if that was fair or foul.
And rightfully so. The first base coach is just like, all right, go ahead and go. I mean, he's just doing what you're supposed to do. And we're like, okay, we're going to get the call or –
First base
They
umpire
just
there.
want him to get a little bit more exercise.
Yeah. You saw him do something he didn't like. He's going to make him run a little more. And Carver blows it by him. And foul tip. And couldn't hold on to Olsen. Couldn't hold it. And so another opportunity. For Valley View here. And either way, results the same. Swing and a miss there for Madden Tatum. And so Tatum will go down on strikes for the first out here of the third. And it's the first time that Carver has been able to take down the leadoff man.
And it gives him a chance to finally catch his breath. Of course, he gets ahead 0-1 and battling back. Of course, you had the interesting case there with the foul, or was it not foul? Ended up being that.
Stop by Olsen. Is that one down and in? Batting now, Keaton Rogers. Rogers fights off the inside pitch. Charging as a second baseman. Jump and throw, and got him. What a play. Rogers doesn't agree. We'll see what the replay says. But we'll get it logged up for us.
Next up for the Blazers, shortstop, number 2, Drew Gartner.
I feel like I need to go level that camera out. I think it's just the way of the wall, but that's going to bug me. Let's see if he beats it out here. Rogers. Ooh, he's safe, yeah. Beat it by a half step. This one in foul territory as somebody went over the tarp trying to make a play. Yeah, he was safe. About a half a step. Hope you guys enjoying the views that we're able to bring you here in our broadcast. Great replay job there by Will. That one right down the middle for strike 2. It's Gartman. A little more patient this at bat. Gartman 2 for 2. 0-2, a little bit low. Carver was ready to march his way to the dugout.
3 hours of sleep starting to catch up.
Oh, trust me, any corrections I ask about, I'm definitely saying it with mercy because I know y'all are definitely going on fumes at this point.
As much as I want to see a full schedule get played tomorrow, my feelings would not be hurt over a good chunk of rain between 6 and 9 so we can sleep a little more in the morning before coming out.
Yeah.
That one hit down the third base side, scooped up across the diamond. And Valley View goes in order here in the third, so Ray-Pec maybe settling down just a little bit. It's after 2.5. Valley View leads this one 8-3. Ray-Pec coming to bat when we come back here on the Robinson Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports. New pitcher into the game for Valley View is Keaton Mathis. I'll remember. I'll make sure to remember to hit you up next time. Oh boy.
You rascals.
You know, I got to be honest though. All the crap that Cabo gives Will in our chats, he's got to be loving the crap that Cabo's getting here today. So.
That's a freaking loser.
That one down in the carpet by Mathis, 2-0.
You can catch Kevin Bohannon weekly on the Arkansas Preps Weekly podcast, where we recap all of the action from the previous week's baseball moments,
including everything from the 8th annual Robinson Invitational. And starting to wonder if Cabo is going to have anything good to say at this point.
Well, yeah, that'll actually be, I will say this tournament will probably be about 90% of what we discuss this week.
Let's see if Cabo has.
Now Olsen rips it right at the second baseman. One away. Yep, you can find that on our Natural State Sports YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts.
Any softball fans who might be tuning in, we do softball as well, so we do a softball and baseball episode.
Listen, it is the most intensive coverage, I would say, especially of spring sports.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the state.
I think it just says
And you add volleyball to that mix in the fall as well. Football, baseball, basketball, softball, all of it. You guys do a great job with the pods. A lot of great guests, a lot of coaches that you can catch insight from. Woo, look out. Ball right back up the middle. As that one went right behind the back of Mathis. Eats up the center fielder. And Scrivener doesn't have to dive into first base this time as he has a leisurely jog to first this time. And one away, Scrivener over at first. And to be honest, Kyle, after talking with Coach Lurch, I knew we had talked about that. But just to see Scrivener being able to run down the line is quite a feat for a young man with 3 ACL tears.
Absolutely.
That one fouled off, strike one.
And Ray-Pec's got something going here that show. And look, great teams. You don't expect to see any kind of panic, whether you get down really early or whatever the case may be. And
well, I think importantly, too, although this is to take another way with Mathis, he could settle in and throw a gem here, but to get the starter Martin out of the game has got to be helpful as well. Martin was pumping it in there early. He got in a little trouble, obviously, in that second, but and I contend that the trouble he got into in the second was because they made him run the bases. And his at bat prior to that. That one fouled out of play. And again, Keaton Mathis, extremely talented in his own right. Former Razorback commit. We'll see where he ends up at the next level. In this day and age, just because somebody decommits from a university doesn't mean they won't end up there at some point. It's got to be the most difficult job right now is the recruiting world of college coaches.
no doubt, it's a second-by-second job.
Last one. Dribbled down the line. Good job to get around him. Another head-first dive into first base. And out. It's a guard in case the ball fouls off his shin or his ankle.
That's to keep something from happening to his foot.
It's like some extra pads so you don't take your ankle out on a swing or something.
Is there a runner at second?
Yes.
This part that I'm trying to.
The things we do to bring you guys these broadcasts.
I want to go home. That's what I want to do.
I mean, to be fair, Delaney did tell me I should just call it a day after the rain situation and then production truck wasn't cooperating.
He did?
He said you might as well just call it a day.
Don't tell Will.
I was like, no, Will's like 20 minutes away. What do you mean, tell you to turn around and go home? No, too bad. Look, I have a feeling we're going to get a reprieve in the morning and be able to sleep in before we could start this thing tomorrow afternoon. I think it's probably going to be our best route of action in the morning is just to wait the rain out. Oh, boy, that ball crushed. Left center field, giving it a ride. Back to the wall, caught on the track. And a long out for Posey. And so that'll do it for the Ray-Pec half of the third inning. We'll head to the fourth with Valley View leading this one 8-3. We'll be back with more action here from the Robinson Invitational on the Robinson Sports Network right after this. Pitcher Keaton Mathis leads things off here against Carver. Carver back out there for a fourth inning of work. He's settled in since those first two. Mathis right at the third baseman. Snagged and one away.
Quick out.
And that's what you want if you're Lurch right now.
Next up for the Blazers, left fielder number 21, Owen Roach.
So now Roach steps in. And Carver wanted to go through the signs again. Now he's ready. Roach watches strike one. So quick update for those of you tuning in for the final two games of the night. We're watching the radar. Baseball still might get to be played. That's going to really depend on how heavy the rain gets and if there's any lightning with it. But looking at the radar, it's looking pretty tough for us and our multitude of electrical components here. We are not indoors. We are obviously outside under a canopy that will blow away at any minute. That one fouled back by Roach. And so if the rains do pick up, we may not be able to bring you the Staley-Bryant game that's set to start about 15 minutes after this one concludes. We'll keep you updated, though. I'll be a little disappointed if I can't call my alma mater's game. And that one pushed to right field, up to the wall, and makes the catch out of the right field wall. Good job there by the right fielder. For 34, Eli Mast.
That's 5 in a row retired for Carver. Has definitely settled in a little more. Actually, a lot more compared to what was happening. And you get a 6 spot put up on you in the second, and it's been pretty solid after that.
Shocker. Wait, by Tony V or Cabo? That one outside, 1-0. He must still be busy dealing with that day job. Do what? I'm not playing middleman. 1-0 on the way. Carver inside 2-0. Yeah, you know, to your point again, Kyle, like you're not seeing Valley View barrel them up as much as they were before. That ball they just hit to right, that's you know, they hit that one off the wall. I think I still see the dent up there at the top of the wall from that one earlier. So that ball, that's barreled up. Right fielder. Ooh, took a funny hop, nearly got away from him. Mast corrals it and bring it in. Old Valley View to a single.
Next up, for Valley View, number 22, center fielder Jay Taylor.
Taylor, the center fielder. No hit. Martin continues to be hot at the plate after that hit. Now Taylor fouls this one off. Uh-oh. Oh, that was a roof. That got a couple cars.
Did you park it close?
And runner goes. I got him picked. Go to second and got him. So third out of the inning as Martin caught trying to steal. And that'll do it for the Valley View half of the fourth inning. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Ray-Pec looking for runs, down 8-3. This is the 8th annual Robinson Invitational. Robinson Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports. Carver lead off here for Ray-Pec. First pitch from Mathis right down the middle for strike one. A 1 count. Carver going to try to help his own cause here. That one down in the dirt. 1-1. Another 1-1 from Mathis. Too far inside, 2-1. And outside, 3-1. So and Mathis gets that one in the zone. Fouled off. Now full count. Payoff pitch here to Carver. And Carver grounds it, second base. Scooped up. Flips it to the first baseman for out number 1 here in the fourth.
Next up for the Panthers, third baseman, number 24, Caden Jenkins.
Well, Caden Jenkins will bat. Jenkins waits the first one from Mathis. That one, strike one called. Didn't miss much. Just Carver grounding out to second. And that one outside, ball 1, 1-1. I can't be for sure, but I walked by the grilling stations back there, and I think our rice chef is back.
Oh,
I'm hoping.
I did not even pay attention when I went and took my field trip a second ago.
Hoping for the hibachi soon. At least one more time. That ball is crushed way back. and off the wall. It'll two-hop the wall. And headfirst dive into second base. And a great piece of hitting there for Jenkins. One out double.
I didn't think that one was going to drop, but, man, again, Ray-Pec kind of quietly a little bit here, just making some noise. They're continuing to get base runners on. That double's going to help.
Next up for the Panthers.
And get the 9-hole hitter, Mast. Mast had a big hit earlier to flip the order back to the top. And with one out here, you want to see Mast work his way on base. Get back to Meisenhammer up top. Maybe give Purnell a chance to hit here with runners on. And pitch from Mathis. Ooh, could be a bit of a generous strike. I think maybe our umpire senses the rain coming. Call 311 before you dig. Now the 0-1 from Mathis. That ball foul between the legs of Coach Lurch down there. And by the way, while I have a moment,
I was looking for that piece of paper. I thought it might have got lost in all the shuffling.
I just remembered I saw Coach down first base line. I looked at I was like, oh yeah. I want to give a shout out, say a big hello to Brian and Gail Sprecher, who live in the Villages, Florida, the brother and sister-in-law of first base coach Dave Hicks of Ray-Pec. So you guys are watching the broadcast tonight. We appreciate y'all tuning in. And Coach Hicks says hello. And we say hello. 1-2 here. Mathis will step off. Again, this is 8th Annual Robinson Invitational, the Robinson Sports Network. I'm Steve Henson, joined by Kyle Sutherland, William Watkins on production, Kristen Henson on our dugout cam. That's the one that's giving you all the up-top views. She's not in a blimp. She's just about 20 feet in the air. Good pitch. That was filthy by Mathis as he broke that one over the plate for strike 3. And Mast will make his way back to the dugout for Ray-Pec.
Except for the Panthers, center fielder, number 1, Jayden Meisenheimer.
I keep looking over my shoulder at Coach Delaney over there. I think he's doing his best meteorology schooling over there, trying to figure out what the weather's going to do in a bit.
He's, of course, trying to do that for 7 other locations as well.
Swing and a miss from Meisenhammer. Uh-oh, we got a ball for a lollipop. I think that ball looks like it got found out in the mud pit, though. I think that's a batting practice ball. They all count, though. So 0-1 here to Meisenhammer. Ooh, down and in. Looked real similar to the strike call on Mast earlier. On the 1-1. That one off the end of the bat. It'll be a tough play. Second baseman's charging. Nice play. Flips to first for the out. So Ray-Pec challenges the scoreboard but couldn't get anything across home plate. And so that'll do it for our 4th inning of play. After 4, Valley View still leads this one 8-3, and we'll be back with more of the Robinson Invitational here on the Robinson Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports in just a minute. Ragsdale to lead off here for Valley View. Harver. Harver out for his 5th inning of work. Carver's really done a good job of settling in since that 6-run second. It's Ragsdale, a little blooper. Play by there by the second baseman. 1 away here in the Valley View 5th.
11 runs scored in the first 2 innings. Of course, obviously, the majority of those belong to Valley View, but it's looking like we might still have a high-scoring game. You never know what could happen, but it has slowed down a lot since the top of the 3rd.
Carver's first pitch inside. It's Hudson Rogers, I believe. Should be at least a lineup. It should be Rogers. And that one smokes center field. That center fielder got a beat on it. Comes in, makes the catch. That was actually, I take that back, that was actually Ragsdale.
Hudson Rogers.
Now it's Hudson Rogers. Thought I heard our PA guy announce Ragsdale as the leadoff man. So that was Jade Taylor. Swing and a miss for Rogers. Now Rogers has hit it hard a couple times here. Just missed one to left. Ragsdale hit the 3-run bomb, the last 3 runs for Valley View. And strike 2 right down the middle. Definitely a little less aggressive approach now by Valley View than what we saw in the first couple innings. Rogers late on that one, fouls it out into the parking lot. Starting to see the sea of blue make its way here into Robinson.
Talk about the pressure on Bryant baseball.
Uh-oh. That ball's crushed. Center field at the wall. Center fielder makes it as he leans into the center field wall. Rogers gives another one a ride. Just missed that one. And that'll do it for the Valley View half of the 5th after 4.5. Valley View leads it 8-3. Ray-Pec coming to bat. Time getting short for the Panthers. We'll see if they can make some noise as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Purnell to bat. They've been quiet so far in this one. 0 for 2. First one off the outside corner. Ball 1, 1-0.
I was saying before the final inning there, or that final out of the inning, the top half, that Bryant's got a lot of pressure on it because football won state, boys basketball won state. Now they got to try to win the big 3, and so they're up next for this spring.
Yeah, and you think about it, at least when I was at Bryant, baseball was the standard.
Yeah.
Football was kind of middle of the road, and honestly, basketball
Back then
was
it
fairly
wasn't-
unheard of.
yeah, it wasn't
Girls
great.
basketball was good at times, but the boys team was unheard. Yeah, that was not a team that you went expecting state titles out of. So it's been pretty impressive. Strike one there on the 3-0 pitch. Real happy for my guy Jonathan Frost. Obviously transferred from Bryant to Maumelle, then from Maumelle back to Bryant, and so gets him a state championship in football and basketball. So full count.
And, of course, now Bryant baseball being led by Garrett Bach. Bach name, one of the most legendary in all of Arkansas prep baseball.
Missed on that one. Ball 4. So leadoff man on in Diesel Purnell.
Sixth up for the Panthers.
Yeah, Saline County,
Catching number
it
21,
got some
Olsen.
– I know that, I'm kind of biased because I lived there. You grew up there. But between Bryant football, now Bryant and Benton basketball, we know what both have done in baseball throughout the years. And
Softball as well.
yeah, softball actually – from the counting that I haven't tallied it all up, but from what I have seen, softball has won more state championships than any other county in the state at 19.
Wow. A lot of good sport. I mean, I remember growing up, baseball it was life in Saline County.
Yeah.
I mean, you played, and it was absolute life. That ball inside, 2-0. And so it's good to see Bryant being so successful. Benton as well. I'll give them their props. Now the 2-0 pitch. Purnell shuffling his way between first and second. Doesn't go. And catcher Olsen batting. Time getting short here for Ray-Pec. Down 8-3, bottom of the 5th. 9 outs to work with. Looky there. I done closed all my rings again.
Look at you go.
It's all those trips to the center field bleachers I've had to make. And that one up the middle, tough play. Gloved, flipped to second, and got past the first baseman. So they'll get the out at second. Olsen doesn't try to advance to second. He'll stay at first. And now a courtesy runner for Olsen as Brooks Talley will run for the catcher.
Brooks Talley. Now batting number 13.
Now Scribner to bat.
Hitter, Keaton Scribner.
And quick pick attempt. Talley gets back. Strike called there. You know, and I don't think the titles are going to slow down for Saline County anytime soon. You know, I was talking to a good friend of mine. He's got a son on the Benton football team, and wait for this pitch from Mathis. Did that? Strike 2. But there's a concerted effort right now in the city of Benton from a growth perspective with the new Buc-ee's coming in. They're expecting obviously a ton of growth because of that out there in that area, which is already an area that's starting to grow quickly with the interstate expansion all the way out to Highway 70. And so that is kind of the thought process right now. And if you look at Saline County, it's bursting at the seams. There's not a lot of room left. You get out to the rural areas and people aren't wanting to get rid of land. And so that ball, high chopper, shortstop, measures it, tosses to second for 1. So 2 outs now. And so, I mean, again, the influx is just going to continue. And in a lot of ways, what it'll end up doing is, and you hate it, but it's potentially going to hurt communities like the Glen Rose area, the Hot Springs area, Haskell. I mean, you don't think about, Hot Springs has a good core folks that love to be down there on the lake, but when you look at the city of Hot Springs, the income disparity is quite great. A lot of that is outside money that's around that lake. There's that ball down the right field side, foul, but so you would expect that as that growth continues to push to the southwest in Saline County that you're going to see a lot of that push coming up Highway 70, and that's the plan right now. That's what Benton is prepping for, and that's at least why I've been told some of the changes are being made that you're seeing right now is they're really trying to look towards the future in Benton. And so we'll see how things go, but I don't think the titles are going to slow down
No.
out in Benton anytime soon. You saw another big-time transfer announcement over the last week of a basketball player headed to Benton. So this ball lifted up, shortstop, left fielder coming in, shortstop. Ooh, an adventure with the wind, makes the catch. And I'll retire the side for Ray-Pec here in the bottom of the 5th. As we'll head to the 6th here at the Robinson Invitational. Valley View in control. 8-3 right now. We'll be back with more baseball here on the Robinson Sports Network, brought to you by Natural Stay Sports. All right, we're back. Sorry, I had to make a nacho delivery. When I thought it was for Will, I wasn't going to go get it. But when I found out it was for the woman I choose to sleep with, I figured I might as well take the nachos.
It was looking like we were gonna get to this entire inning without because we got 2 quick outs. Now a 2-out single.
Ray-Pec may want me to go back for more nachos because I get on and a 2-out single, moving the runner to third. Runner's at the corners now. So Mathis looked to help himself out here. And again, we continue to kind of keep an eye on the weather. I don't know what the likelihood of actual baseball being played between Staley and Bryant or it being completed tonight. There's a lot of heavy precipitation that seems to be headed this way. As for us, we probably will not be broadcasting the final game of the night. And we'll be back here tomorrow afternoon when the weather is a little better. But this radar is looking worrisome. Runner goes. They go to third and nearly threw it into left field.
Well, That's my bad. It's actually 1 out, not 2. That was a 1-out single.
Yeah, I say we try for the 1:30 game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's now moved out. I mean, we're about 40 minutes away from that rain being here. So hopefully we can get this one concluded. Looks like we will, as we're into the 6th now.
It started with us 3. He said he was us 2. Oh, you're leaving? I'm the one with kids at home. Exactly. You don't know where your son is.
So the 2-0 now with 1 away for Valley View. Carver, the workhorse, hasn't given up anything since the 2nd. Danger of giving up a run here. Good stop by Olson behind the plate. Now 3-0. We'll see how much more of a leash Coach Lurch has on Carver. This one popped up. This wind is going to play some games with this. Second baseman, oh, wow. Overran it, I think, and gave up on it. It was a interesting play. That was reminiscent of a bad time in Razorback memory.
Yeah. You mean Monday? I was about to say. You mean last night? You mean Monday night?
Yeah, we're used to it at this point. I mean, heartbreak follows Hog fans. Whether it be dropped foul ball. Uh-oh. I think the wind's going to keep this one in the park, and it just does as it's caught at the wall. It's going to allow a run to score. I tell you what, any other night, that ball is on the softball fields.
I think we've had a couple of those in this game in particular. That.
Man.
Next up.
So there's been a few when it left the bat, you're like, oh, that thing is gone. And then, yeah, the outfielders have been put to work.
I tell you what, you got to give Valley View a ton of credit. This is our, we did 6. This is our 4th. This is our 10th game. No, 11th, right? 11th game of the last 2 days. And I don't know that I've seen anybody in the previous 10 from a top-to-bottom lineup put this hard a contact on the baseball.
Especially that to start off the way that they did.
I mean, this was a game, when we started this game, the wind really, again, blowing in from left field, kind of across the field. It should be killing a lot of these. Now, it has swirled a little bit, but Valley View's just hitting it right through the jet stream up there right now. And this one fouled back. It's Kirk Bach. He is.
I don't know. I don't know who he is.
I don't know if Kyle can eyeball Bach over there.
Garrett
Bach, sorry,
Kirk's
not Kirk.
Dad.
Yeah.
That's easy to confuse.
I do that all the time.
I don't know if I see him from in here though. Yeah, Kirk Bach is actually he's the AD. The OC for Buck James, and now the AD at Bryant.
I do that with both of them all the time.
I'm notorious, especially if I have brothers or sisters on the same team. I always mix them up. If it's identical twins, forget about it. There's been a few that have rocketed towards the Valley View dugout.
I have no idea how Owen Roach even hit that ball that way. That ball was in on his hands. Somehow he got inside of it enough. I actually thought he hit it off his fists. Somehow he pushes that ball into his own dugout.
About had some friendly fire.
So 0-2 again. And 1-2. So now the 1-2. And look out, flinch counter goes up. A good at bat here for Owen Roach. Now the 1-2. And that one punched foul.
Roach really battling on this at bat.
Making Carver labor again. I'm not sure what his pitch count's at right now, but of course Carver been out there a while. Started this ball game. And that one misses for ball 2. Would be curious the pitch count. I don't know if anybody up here is keeping it.
You know what? I think I can probably, let's see.
A game changer may have it.
Yeah, let me take a peek.
And the 2-2 popped up. Right center. Long run for the center field. Camps underneath it. And that'll retire the side for Valley View. But Valley View scratches across another run on the sac fly to the wall in left field. And they now lead this one by 6, 9-3. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, just 6 outs left for Ray-Pec. And we'll be back with more of the Robinson Invitational here on the Robinson Sports Network in just a moment. All right, to the bottom of the 6th we go. And we've got a pitching change for Valley View. As number 9, Parker King, has entered the game for Valley View. That's the first we've seen of King here at the Robinson Invitational.
Carver for Ray-Pec. We were talking about it right at the end of the inning there. He's at 105 pitches, so we'll see if he comes back out for the 7th.
And this one, it's going to find its way through a hole into right field for a single. So leadoff single for Ray-Pec.
That you had to deal with that. We were talking about stuff to shut down.
Hey, I appreciate his honesty.
I know, right? It's not often people tell folks why they didn't do their job.
Number 71, Johnny Carver.
Now Carver, he'll step in.
I figured out, especially in this industry, when your mistakes are just about every time going to be made public, it's just better off to say, you know what, I messed up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people, I know people respect it a lot more.
Yeah.
I do anyway. I'd rather hear you say you messed up and put it on somebody else.
Yeah.
So Carver will try to help his own cause a little bit here. Trailing 9-3. He's been charged with all 9 and about lost a toe.
I love the 71 on a pitch, those odd numbers like that. And like it's literally an odd number, but just like I guess a unique number is what I'm looking for. What was Barry Zito? Was he 70-something? I can't remember, but
something like that. 2-0 as the second one misses. I guess I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow for my hibachi.
I think I am going to try to get me some nachos, though, before this thing.
I'm very sad about that development.
Well, I'll be back. I got baseball and softball tomorrow, so I'll be here for a little bit of the day, and then I got to go to Des Arc. Des Arc is playing nationally ranked Hernando, Mississippi tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I'm going to go check that out.
So ball 4, Carver. Head down to first. Now runners at first and second with nobody out.
Number 24.
You know, I do need somebody on play-by-play tomorrow till about 3 o'clock. I was trying to get Chris Gay. He's out of town. I don't know. I don't think Trip Keeter's wanting to make the
William
trip.
Watkins, come on down.
I guess we could put Will and Andy on it.
Oh, that'd be a
That's torture.
that'd be a treat.
That'd be torture.
Go back to our first year. You'll hear it in football. It was rough. And strike 1. As Caden Jenkins steps in. Jenkins hit one hard his last time up.
Why don't you holler at Matt Jenkins?
Oh,
Can I see the gun for a second? Oh, the gun. I love how you said the gummy.
Jenkins showing bunt, pulls it back, 1-1. Yeah, I got a birthday party to be at till about 3-ish. Jenkins squares to bunt. And pulls it back. And this still might be 2. And good job by Valley View to turn 2. The fake bunt does not work for Jenkins.
Next up. Number 34, Eli Mast.
So Eli Mass, the 9-hole hitter, will step in to hit.
Is there a runner on third?
yeah. It's just on third.
And Mathis, or sorry, not Mathis. Parker King. Wide on that one. So now Mast awaits the 1-0. 1-0 inside, 2-0.
I think I heard Arkansas baseball was up on Vandy earlier. I saw that softball won
I heard they were up too, yeah.
They won their first game of their series with Kentucky 5-3.
3-0 count. Tennessee up 17 on Kentucky right now in the Sweet 16.
Yeah. Well, now Arkansas and Kentucky fans can officially probably call it a truce because they both go down in the Sweet 16. So at the end of the day, I guess Arkansas has the head-to-head win, so they've got those bragging rights.
But Arkansas didn't lose by.
That's true. But what would you prefer? That's a great point, Will. What would you prefer, losing by 15-20 or giving up a 16-point lead? That's a
Giving up a lead.
No, I do not. No.
I think I'd rather get blown out a little bit
No.
than give up a lead.
This one chopped to the shortstop.
That's a good debate, though.
Team play thrown, and a nice scoop by the first baseman. As Mast is retired, and Ray-Pec, bottom of the 6th, comes to a close. We'll head to the 7th. A lot of work to do for the Panthers as they trail this one 9-3 to Valley View. And we'll be back with more of the Robinson Invitational on the Robinson Sports Network right after this.
Leading off
Here in the bottom of the 7th, the Valley View Blazers are going to bring in Jade Taylor, the 4th pitcher of the night. He is going to be, looks like the top of the lineup is going to be coming through again. It's going to be Jaden Meikenhammer leading things off. And take strike one. Swings through that. 0-2 count. And he's just going to jog it out there, and they're going to get off 3 pitches. Taylor's going to get the first out.
The rain wouldn't bother me. I'd hang around, but this equipment won't like it.
next
That
up
will bring up
for the Panthers.
Diesel Purnell, the famous name of the night. Steve, I took over for you for a second here. That way we could at least get the bottom half in. I just let things roll on the top half.
That's the baptism by fire I'm
Yeah.
talking about. You know, Kyle's a color guy, color analyst, a game day analyst, so I can be politically correct. But
Yeah.
if you've never heard the term color analyst or color commentator, and so yeah, I did it to Tripp. I did not know that Tripp had never done play-by-play for baseball, and I threw him in one yesterday. And let's just say it was a struggle bus for a bit. But he got it. He got in a groove a little bit. So Purnell, it's a bat. And I was looking at the YouTube comments. I know we've got some Staley fans that are begging us to broadcast the next game. But listen, there's a lot of uncertainty as to how heavy this rain's going to be. I just look at the radar again. It does look like it's lighting up a little bit, but we learned earlier,
It's
and
a
with
big chance
the
today,
problem is the wind. The rain, if we could protect the front side of this, but all this weather is coming straight at us, and so it's going to come down that hill and get blown right in here. And you know, we just had this production computer built out, and so
It's pretty much going back and forth.
it's hard. If you look at the radar, the future radar shows that it's dissipating as it gets closer. But, you know, earlier today when we got that rain shower, Purnell walks, but earlier when we got the rain shower that hit us that sent us all scrambling, there was supposed to be rain. It never rained. And then Coach Delaney and I were talking about the weather and the fact that it hadn't rained and we would kind of dodged it. And just as he was getting off the broadcast with me, we looked over and that big dark cloud was making its way over the mountain there, and then the bottom fell out. And so just don't want to risk, you know, our cameras could survive it. We've got, you know, stuff on those. But listen, actually the most important piece is the woman that I've been married to for almost 18 years is sitting on top of the third base dugout. And if I leave her up there to broadcast this next game,
You're probably
my
gonna be sleeping.
18-year marriage might be over.
Well, that
or
if you live to make it home, you might be sleeping out in this.
yes. She'll be like, you made me sit up there during this? You can live out there for the next 24 hours. No, I'm not blaming her. I'm just the true blame, as I told somebody else just a minute ago, is that computer that's sitting under that tarp right there that I do not want to see get destroyed. That one fouled off. I mean, even the trainer back here was giving me a hard time. Oh, you're gonna bell because of the weather. Well, look, I'll stand out there in the rain and call the game. It doesn't bother me, but it's the only time I've ever had a problem calling a game was when it's cold and rainy, like that sleet rain nastiness. That trip with Mills up to Shiloh Christian a couple years ago was pure brutality.
The most miserable game for me was the 2022 4A state football championship when we had all those downpours.
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible. I was on the sidelines for that, and
I'll say this year's state championship game, it wasn't nearly as cold or the downpours, but you know, we were pretty raw down there for that one. That one fouled out of play. That's going to make it all the way to the old middle school. It's Olsen bats. Looking for a one-out rally here, down 6. Last chance for Ray-Pec. I was talking to Delaney. They're making some contingency plans. They're going to try to – obviously this one's about to finish up, and then they're going to try to speed into the Bryant-Staley game anyway. I do know let's see. There should be – I'll have to get with Delaney. I know Cabo, you guys were doing updates, but a lot of that was from what we're doing. across all the sites. And so there will be updates out on social media if you're not even able to watch it. That ball line down the left field line of foul.
Yeah, I'm going to try to round up all the last. We'll post them on the Natural State Sports Network Facebook and Twitter/X. I'm going to try to round those up. If I don't have them rounded up by tonight, I'll definitely have them in the morning. I try to get them for like the paper guys and stuff at night before they hit their deadline, but
now I will check and see. Caden Howard, I see your comment about you guys. I know you're one of the ones wanting us to stay for the Staley game. I'll check with Coach Bach and the Bryant staff and see if they have anybody here doing any kind of game changer stream. But odds are they probably don't with us having the broadcast out here. Like even Greenwood didn't come this morning. The old Sports Center didn't make it out here. So, and outside of Conway, I've not seen anybody with any kind of game changer setups doing anything.
Let me check and see. Of course, even if they have a game, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be streaming it, but
at the very least, if there is game changer, you could be able to keep up with it. But
yes, if you Bryant Hornets plural varsity 2025 on game changer, that's Bryant Hornets varsity 2025.
So there you go. Hopefully, there'll be a way to watch that one. Now tomorrow. Again, things get tricky tomorrow. It really, there's no telling what the schedule is going to end up looking like tomorrow. The first game I think we would potentially be able to broadcast tomorrow would be maybe the 1:30 game, which is Valley View Staley. I personally won't be able to be here for that one, but we may be able to get everybody out here for a stream, assuming the weather is cleared by then. This rain has kind of been really hard to figure out. But it does look like the worst of it's going to happen after midnight till about 7 a.m. And if that's the case, then we'll be out here again tomorrow afternoon and for sure get the final – plan would be for sure to get the final 3 games of the day. Ray-Pec will be back out here to play Conway at 3:45. I can feel pretty confident in saying we'll have that game broadcast. Shiloh Christian, Russellville at 6, and then Greenbrier, Shiloh Christian at 8:15 to close this out. The 0-1 pitch, called a strike on the lower half. And Scribner, but a tough young man. Well documented his issues. He's had a good ball game here today. And that one bounces in there, 1-2. So we'll do our best. If we can't get you guys the Staley game tonight, which we won't be able to get tonight, we're going to do our best to get you the Staley game tomorrow afternoon. But just pay attention to the social media. If you would, follow us on our Natural State Sports X account, Twitter account, as well as on Facebook. And we'll have all the information of any schedule changes as Coach Delaney shares them with us tomorrow. So make sure to keep us updated. And high chopper, going to be a tough play. And Scribner is thrown out. Give him credit for hustling down the line there. And so Ray-Pec down to their last out here.
Do have runners on second and third.
And so Maddox still will bat. I mean, we're in the circle of rain right now. It's all around us.
Maybe both Staley and Bryant are living right, and it'll just stay circled.
And yeah, that's what Delaney and I talked about. I don't know if it's something about the hills, the trees. Maybe it's those radio towers back there behind us. Something seems to keep the heaviest stuff away from this area a lot of times, but we'll see if that works tonight. This one, grounded. First base should be the last play, and it is. Flipped to first, and that'll do it. So Valley View in the rematch of last year's 7th annual Robinson Invitational matchup between these two teams. Valley View gets the victory again here tonight as they win this one 9-3. And Kyle, really this game, obviously a lot of baseball was played from the second inning on, but this game was decided in the second. A 2-run first and then a 6-run explosion Valley View, capped off by the big 3-run bomb to left field. And that's the difference in this one, as Valley View victorious 9-3 over Ray-Pec out of Missouri.
Yeah, that was just that second inning in particular when Valley View put that 6 spot on. Now, credit Ray-Pec. They responded with a 3-run bottom of the second of their own. And also, too, really got to give a lot of props to Carver there, because when that happens and you put up 8 runs in the first 2 innings, that really messes with somebody's psyche a lot of different times that you see. But, look, he's a Razorback commit, going to go play big-time college baseball, and he really calmed down a lot after that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, wish we could bring you the next one, but weather is going to impede us on that. So we appreciate you guys joining us here on the Robinson Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports. Once again, we'll be back out here tomorrow. We'll keep you updated on the schedule. Follow us on our social media pages, Natural State Sports on X as well as on Facebook. We'll keep you updated. That's going to do it for us here tonight from the 8th Annual Robinson Invitational. I want to say a big thanks to my wife, Kristen Henson, up on our camera, as well as Avery McMullen, who ran camera up there for us all day the last 2 days. Big thanks to William Watkins on production for making the trip up and bringing us the VMix machine and saving the day, as well as Kyle Sutherland. I appreciate you for coming out and jumping on with me and taking in some great baseball. For those of us here at Natural State Sports, I'm Steve Henson, and this has been baseball at the 8th Annual Robinson Invitational. We'll see you guys tomorrow.